don't know what the fuck is going to happen with Conor.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you and everybody else.
Because Khabib,
You and everybody else.
after this performance, Khabib has set it up to a place where he's the most terrifying lightweight contender in the world. Then you have Tony Ferguson, who's a motherfucker, who's the interim champion, and then you have Conor, who knows what's going to happen with him. And I think the UFC is going to give him a little while. Going to give him some time. You know, hey, let the holidays pass, see what the fuck happens, and they're going to have to make some moves. But they want to do a Russia fight.
Yeah.
And if they want to do a Russia fight, I know a guy. I know a guy that'll sell some fucking tickets in Russia, baby.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov in Russia. What?
Khabib
Khabib
said on Twitter about this. Connor's.
What did Conor say?
I skin your pets and only wear them once.
That was his response.
Yeah.
Come on, that's
Oh my
waiting.
God. Truly, truly, get on your fucking knees and beg me. Otherwise, I don't give a bollocks. My whiskey is out this year, and that's Diddy bread.
No, but I think below that is the. So he tweeted the bear thing, and then it was I skin your pets and I wear them once.
Oh yeah,
That was pretty funny.
That
was comparatively witty. Yeah, I slaughter your pets and wear them as coats and only wear them once.
and I only wear them once.
That's pretty funny. But there's a.
It'd be a lot of. It's good trash talk. I like it.
Have you ever seen a documentary called Bobby Fischer Against the World?
No.
Follow chess. There's a documentary about Bobby Fischer called Bobby Fischer Against the World. And whether or not you're into chess, you should really, really watch it.
I'm into Bobby Fischer.
Yeah, okay. It's called Bobby Fischer Against the World.
He's a
And
trippy guy.
yeah, he was. And anyway, they interview one of his friends, his lifelong friends, named Dr. Anthony Sadie. And their last conversation before Bobby cut him off, he said, "Bobby, if you don't play chess, eventually there'll come a time where no one will ask you to play chess." That's the situation. Is, you know, you can keep doing this in tweets, but the reason you're famous and the reason you have what you have in front of you is because you fight. And there comes a time when, like I said, the division, the sport and the division, everybody, it'll move past you. Now, Conor may have enough money; he doesn't care about that, but that's always a risk you run. You know, you're an old school guy. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson tried to be a dancer entertainer. Got old, and they went, "We want to see you fight, and that's all you're gonna get paid for." Now, he may have enough money that he doesn't care about that. It's certainly possible, but there's no sport, there's no division that won't move past you eventually, and that would be a shame.
And he thinks he has
Without
enough
that
money.
Yeah.
But
Everybody thinks that.
he's spending like Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's going off. If you go off like that, after a while, you're going to run out of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be 20 years from now, but, you know, to see him...
Still 20 years.
Yeah.
And your window to make money is
Yeah.
this big in professional sports.
Right.
I'm holding up my fingers
to
so
make a
people are just
comeback.
listening to this.
Yeah, I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't know if he's got enough money to live the rest of his life, but he certainly doesn't if he just spends like crazy. I mean, he might just go through a phase, and then he might decide to cherry pick specific fights to make tremendous amounts of money. And there was some talk about a Pacquiao fight in boxing. Who knows what he's going to do?
But his only sustainable avenue is MMA.
Yeah.
Meaning, once again, in boxing, let's say he fights Manny Pacquiao. Let's say he loses, for argument's sake, let's say he loses that fight.
Right.
People are going to be tired of spending $70 on a pay-per-view to watch him take on a great guy and fall short.
But
It
if he
won't
fights
last.
Tony Ferguson in a unification fight and KOs Tony Ferguson, then he
Then-
can fight Manny Pacquiao all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's MMA that sustains him.
Don't get mad at me, Tony. It's just a, for instance, a possibility.
For argument's sake,
Yeah,
Tony.
I'm taking the devil's advocate position, Tony. Tony got mad at me wearing the hat. He's like, "What are you changing your 10 Planet gear, bro?"
What were you wearing?
I don't know how to say it. Papuka.
Oh, that for the.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, it's a gift.
It's a
You have
gift
to wear that.
And listen, just because he's got a problem, I love Tony, but I also love Khabib. Khabib's a bad motherfucker. To deny that is ridiculous.
That's stupid. So, all right, I got to ask, commentator.
Okay.
All right, what's the maddest a fighter's ever been at you for what?
Man, I don't know.
Because we all have these stories. Not many of them. Usually, I get along with just about everybody, but there are a
I
couple
get along
stories.
with just about everybody too. And if there was Rampage was mad at once.
I remember that
Because I was saying that he needed to throw more leg kicks or something like that. But it's just because I want him to be successful. And when he does, I just think that guys get a little too knockout heavy sometimes, and I like to see people be more technical and mix it up.
It's an addiction, man.
And you're never going to get away from the power that Rampage had. and has. He's always going to have that power. My thought was like what I would like to see as a person who's a fan. I'd like to see him mix it up more.
Yeah.
You know, and become more technical. He's always going to have that ridiculous chin. He's always going to have that unbelievable power. Those things are not going away.
It's the first guy I ever grappled with.
Rampage?
Rampage Jackson.
That's
first,
hilarious.
First guy I ever grappled with. Really, at a legit studio.
I grappled with him once. We were doing something for some television show. Some inside the, that's right, that inside the UFC thing that I used to do like way back in the day. That was like when Spike first had the UFC. We did some stuff, and he was getting ready to fight Chuck. And we did some stuff together. He like a lot of people didn't know who he was. He came. We drove around L.A. in his monster truck. He had some crazy monster truck. It was like jacked 3 feet up in the air.
If you weren't into Pride, you didn't know who he was.
No, nobody knew who he was.
At that point, of course.
We ran into one of the
Beat Marvin
Wu-Tang
Eastman
Clan.
before that.
I was with Rampage. We ran into one of the Wu-Tang Clan in a weird section of L.A. on Hollywood Boulevard. The Wu-Tang dude was coming out of a check cashing place. I forget which guy it was. We were having a good fucking time, though. That was before anybody knew who Rampage was.
I misunderstood him because he was going by this, like, once again, like 99, 2000. I had finished at UCLA where I first like got my taste of jiu-jitsu was at UCLA, and then I graduated, and I went to Team Punishment, and I get on the mat, and Fabiano Iha was a coach there at the time. Fabiano Iha. Yeah.
One of the best arm bars in the
Dude,
day.
Good footlocks, too.
Ooh,
yeah.
His arm bar was fire.
Sick, especially far side. And so we, I got on the mat, and I shake hands with this dude, and I said, "Hey, my name's Jimmy," and he goes, "I'm Rampage," and I thought like I misunderstood him. I was like, he can't say, you know, I was like, it's a Randall or something, and I just misunderstood him. And all I knew was I knew armbar and a footlock at the time, and he was so big, I was like, I'm just gonna footlock him, and I went for all these straight footlocks on him. I got him, and then I got an armbar on him, and he lifted me up to the ceiling with one arm and just aroned my ass. Just went boom, dropped right on me. And Fabiano comes running over mad, like, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that," and starts screaming at him, and he walks off, and Rampage turns to me and goes, "Yeah, we're cool, right?" And I said, "Yeah, we're fine, man. I'm a wrestler. You know, no big deal. I've been slammed before." And that was it. That's how I met Quentin, man, back then. He was fighting King of the Cage. It was like his second fight. I was there right after his first fight or before his first fight. Like, literally, he was just getting started, like living in his car stuff. And now he's come very, very far. He's one of those guys I'm really glad.
Didn't he fight like Marvin Eastman in like one of his first
fights?
That
was his I believe that was his
first fight.
His first fight at King of the Cage in California was Marvin Eastman. I think he fought once in Tennessee or something. But yeah, his first fight was Marvin Eastman. He lost by decision.
Whew, man.
And then he just started beating guys up. He started.
Long history this sport has now when you think about it. It's interesting because it's all just sort of accumulated, like the different styles and the different abilities.
Do you remember how tough, especially in California in the early 2000s, the local scene was a motherfucker?
Oh, yeah, man.
Dudes, because the UFC, like, MMA was big. It was not big, but it was pop. It was cool. It was like, it was popular. It was fun. And there weren't many big shows. So guys had to fight on the local level for a while to get enough fights to get there. And also, once again, the contracts weren't that restrictive. So in between UFC fights, because they didn't have that many, guys could go down to King of the Cage and make some money. So you'd see some really talented guys at King of the Cage. You'd see some
King of the
really
Cage was
good
always
dudes.
weird
Gladiator
Indian shows, Indian casinos.
Saboba Casino, man. That's where I fought first time. I fought like 4 of my fights up there.
There was a bunch of casinos that would have it, and it all had to be Native American reservations.
It was
they
illegal.
had their own rules.
Yeah, it was illegal.
So
weighing in on a bathroom scale, like literally like on a bathroom scale in the lobby of the hotel, and Ted would look down and go, "Yeah, you're good. You know, whatever."
Wow.
The doctor's test was like, "Can you find your nose? Can you stand on one foot? Can you stand on the other foot? Okay, get in there." It was literally, that was it. It's crazy.
It's
Wild West, man.
Do you remember when the King of the Cage, it got rainy and they decided to let everybody fight?
Wet and wild, bro. Wet and wild.
That was crazy.
Eve Edwards fought on that card against Jeremy Williams.
Did he really?
I believe so. From Team NG, Team Next Generation. Remember him?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That was a solid team. Chris Brandon's camp, man, back then.
Yeah.
Solid dudes, man.
Yeah, there was the 2 Jeremy Williams, right? It was the one
the
who
boxer
eventually fought
and then,
tough, who wound up getting locked up. And then there was Jeremy, the original one who took his own life.
Yeah, took his own life.
Very sad story. He was a really interesting guy. Super talented, too.
I fought in a grappling match against Jerry at No Limits. Remember No Limits?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're calling it. I used to be anyway. So I got a call from the guy who ran No Limits, and he called me and said, "Hey, I have a grappling tournament coming up. Would you like to fight?" Because I was doing grappling tournaments at the time. I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem, man." And he goes, "You have a super fight against Jeremy Williams." And I went, "Fuck," because I had seen Jeremy Williams. You know, he was locally in California. He was known, and we got in this ring or whatever, and we fought. And I caught him in a toe hold, and he tapped, and I went back into the locker room and he's bawling, like